name is Mackenzie, and I have been following Christ for about 3 months now. I've wanted to follow Christ for quite some time now, probably for about 8 years, if not more, but I was never really truly committed to it. But not because I didn't want to be, but because I just didn't know how to go about it, and not being raised in a Christian household made it a lot more difficult. My daughter, who is 4, has been raised in a Christian household on her dad's side, and I've always loved that for her. I've always told myself that she's going to be happier than me having something and someone to believe in. As the older she gets, the more she has been understanding who Jesus is. She talks to me all the time about God, and I kept wanting to be able to connect with her on that level and raise her in 2 Christian households. Quite some time I was living in darkness and committing a lot of sin, more than I would like to admit. No matter how hard I tried, I kept falling back into old habits. Once one thing hit the fan, it all started hitting the fan, and I would let stress and anxiety take over. About 3 months ago, I finally found the light. I found Christ. I had met someone who just got up and left his home in Ontario because he found that he was living too sinful of a life. He talked about God a lot, and little did I know that's where my relationship with God was starting. He was so captivating when he talked about the Lord and when he talked about heaven, and it made me want to ask more questions. And so I did, and one night I was hurting so badly and sitting in my room crying, and I wanted the pain to go away, and so I thought I would pray. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't really know what to say, and I didn't know if my prayer would be answered, but the next morning I woke up and I felt like my prayer had been answered, and that pain and that weight was lifted from my shoulders. In that moment, I knew that I wanted to follow Christ, and I was going to be committed to it. After that, I had asked my friend if I could go to church with him. After that service, I knew that was how I wanted to spend my Sundays, was going to church. I truly believe that the Lord placed this person in my life for this reason, and I don't think he could have chosen a better person to open up my eyes and my heart to him. It didn't take me long to realize that I wanted to be baptized. It was only a couple weeks into my journey that I had the urge to be baptized, and I felt like the Spirit was telling me to get baptized. I kind of questioned it a little bit because I was so new to it, and I felt like the time wasn't right, and I felt like I needed to clean myself up a little bit before getting baptized. But I knew that I wanted to get baptized, and I learned that there really is no perfect time to get baptized either. And my first time attending Southridge, 2 people were baptized in that service, and I couldn't turn a blind eye to that. I took that as a sign from the Lord. Right then, I made the decision that I wanted to get baptized right away. In such a short period of time, my life has changed so much. Shortly after being saved, I felt this overwhelming love, and it was so amazing and something like I've never felt before. I even had nights where I didn't want to sleep because I was just so overwhelmed, but in an amazing way, and his presence was so strong. I felt safe and protected, and I no longer felt alone. As Pastor Brent said in a service not too long ago, was half plus half does not equal a whole, but 1 plus 1 does. And as long as I have the Lord in my life, I am no longer alone. I've had so many doors open up in such a short period of time, and so many close as well. A few months ago, if I had these doors closing, I would have dwelled on it, and I would have beat myself up for it and blamed myself. I would have questioned it and like, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? And now I know that God works in funny ways, and even though some opportunities are coming and going, he has a plan for me, and to trust him with all my heart. I've had a family about 6 years now praying for me that I would open my eyes and my heart to the Lord. So not only have my prayers been answered, but their prayers have been answered as well. A verse that has been very impactful in my life recently is Galatians 2:20, which is, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who lives, but Christ who lives in me.
I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, and then we'll get started. So, Mackenzie, you've decided to follow Jesus as we've heard, yes? And so your desire to get baptized today?
Yeah.
All right. Well, because you have requested it, and Christ has commanded it, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.